Hey gang, it's JC and this is your Daily Dose for Wednesday, October 13th, 2010, a cooperative venture with Mind Active in beautiful downtown Brentwood. By the way, remember I was standing in front of this bush about 2 weeks ago and I said, pretty soon it's going to start turning colors? Look at that, already starting to turn red. You know, we had a little rain last night, plus it's windy, leaves are coming down off the trees. It's just crazy right now. Anyhow, we're a cooperative venture with Mind Active in beautiful downtown Brentwood. Archives top of the page, eye candy archives along the bottom of the page. Dave Murray's weather forecast down in the corner, as well as the audio of the Daily Dose on iTunes. We are back on the air in about 10 days on the Big 550 KTRS, starting at 10 o'clock every day. We go 10 to 1 on the Big 550 KTRS. Thanks to everybody who sent messages, well wishes. Really do appreciate it. Going to try to respond to as many as possible. I want to congratulate Jane Mormon Cochran, oddly enough, who became Facebook friend number 2,000 last night, so we are rolling on that. Election Day, less than 3 weeks away right now. All right, some days you get out of bed and you just can't even believe how good a day it's going to be, and this was one of those days. Man, oh man, wait till you hear this. All right, so there's this cartoonist who works for the Belleville News-Democrat. His name is Glenn McCoy, okay? Now, what cartoonists do is they take whatever your most prominent feature is, like if you're bald or you got a big nose or you got, you know, buck teeth or whatever, and then they sort of trump that up, they expand it, they exaggerate it, and then they try to do jokes about it, okay? And it's, you know, when you're a caricaturist, you're sort of acknowledging the fact to the artistic community that you have no talent. Because if you could draw anything worth a darn, you'd be doing it, but you're just basically taking things about people and ridiculing them. And that's fine because I ridicule people all the time, so it can't go one way and not the other. So anyhow, Glenn McCoy over the Belleville News-Democrat calls himself a conservative political cartoonist. In fact, the guy who drew this cartoon about me going back on the air at KTRS starting on the 25th, thank you, Glenn. In 2008, Glenn's portrayal of Barack Obama was called the sickest editorial cartoon in history. I want to repeat that. In 2008, Glenn McCoy's portrayal of the president was called the sickest editorial cartoon in history. My gosh, what could he have done that was so historical? All right. Picture the president of the United States in a dumpster behind an abortion clinic with a baseball bat, beating on aborted fetuses with the caption, "Just making sure there are no survivors." Pretty classy, huh? So I'm in very, very good company. So anyhow, I mean, this is like the greatest day of my life, because from now on, when I go back on the air, if anybody ever complains about anything I do, all I got to say is, well, did you complain to the Belleville News-Democrat when they depicted the president of the United States with a baseball bat and a dumpster beating aborted fetuses behind an abortion clinic with the caption, "Just making sure there are no survivors"? Did you complain about that? If not, shut the fuck up. This is great. By the way, the other thing about cartoonists and stuff like that, you see, my image is out there in the community. You can watch me here, I'm on TV all the time, radio, my voice is all over the place, on the internet. If Glenn McCoy walked down the street, even in Belleville, you wouldn't even know it was him, right? And see, that's beautiful, because Glenn, get in here, okay? Come here. Glenn. Okay. You see, I'm not the most handsome man in the world, and I know that. I've dealt with that a long time ago, okay? But I got this amazingly hot wife. That's our house back there. You wouldn't believe the stuff that goes in. She's just red hot, okay? 20 years younger than me. Beautiful, loves me, nice to me, the works, okay? You, on the other hand, I don't want to see your picture. I don't care about you. What I do want to see is I want to see the beast that you have to crawl in on top of every night, okay? Because we both know it's not. Oh, wait a minute. Maybe I'm making an assumption here I shouldn't. I'm making an assumption that you like girls. Oh, jeez. I apologize, Glenn. Anyhow, congratulations to the class act of the day, the Belleville News-Democrat. And by the way, it's our pictures on eye candy here today. All right, now I want to talk about something that actually pisses me off. And that is, well, let me back up here. A couple of years ago, I stopped doing any and all interviews with the local media. Why? Well, because I would go to the trouble of saying, okay, sure, I'll do an interview with you. And then you sit for a half an hour, even longer than that sometimes. And you try to give good answers, try to give them a good interview. And then the thing comes out and you look at it and they say all these horrible things about you. They talk to your enemies instead of your friends. They dredge up stuff from 25 years ago that's not even relevant anymore. And they basically do a hatchet job on you. And the Post-Dispatch is one of the biggest offenders, and I just don't even deal with them anymore. But when you start a new job, you sort of have to do it because otherwise the boss gets mad and you want to make a good impression, etc. and so forth. So the other day I agreed to do a what they call a Q&A with St. Louis Magazine's website. And very nice gal, by the way, calls up and we have a very nice discussion, and I give her some good answers and we just talk about things, and everything's fine. The thing comes out and the first thing they do is they call me a shock jock. All right, now, aside from the fact that I've never engaged in shock radio, and by the way, shock jock, I think that the local media here, they've been using this for years and sticking it on me. I think they just use it because they think it rhymes or something, it's cute. But I also think they do it because they know that it's like the equivalent of calling a lawyer an ambulance chaser, or calling a journalist a hack, and you would know about that at the Post, by the way, or calling a baseball player a bush leaguer, you know, something like that. But shock jock really applies to not even so much Howard Stern as much as the really talentless people who try to rip off Howard Stern. You know, you got strippers, and you do phone hoaxes, and you fake celebrity deaths, and you do kinky sex stuff and a lot of toilet humor, and you're just like sort of completely irresponsible and not even accountable to your own audience. That's shock radio. That's what a shock jock is, and that's not what I do. It's a specific style. By the way, it's interesting. I've never been referred to as a shock jock by the national media, the people who actually know what they're doing. It's just these local hacks. So I don't do interviews anymore. But congratulations to St. Louis Magazine's website. Another class act. All right, let's get on to the show business news here. And yesterday was Courtney Cox and David Arquette, who, by the way, was all over radio and TV yesterday and today acknowledging the fact that his marriage is breaking up with Courtney Cox, and that he's cheated on her. But now there's some story that she may have said, go ahead, I don't care what you do, so who knows. Today it's Christina Aguilera and her husband that go kaput. All right, in the news, Al-Qaeda reportedly targeting Washington, D.C. restaurants for terrorist attacks. Got to be careful when you're ordering dessert. You don't want to order that apple pie a la mode. The Rose Bowl in Pasadena is going to get a $150 million facelift. That'll be the first facelift ever done in California not involving Botox. Next season of Survivor may feature former Miss California beauty pageant contestant and wife of former Rams quarterback Kyle Bowler, Carrie Prejean, on Survivor. This is the woman who, when the topless photos of her, she's very religious and biblical and all that, and when the topless photos of her surfaced, she said, well, see, I didn't know that. I was just taking the pictures and my blouse flew open from the wind, and I didn't know that my boobs were out. Okay. And then she got a boob job and refused to pay back the money to the California beauty pageant people who paid for it because they thought she might have had a better chance of winning with bigger boobs. Then, when she denied that she had been involved in making a sex tape, she went into her lawyer's office and they played the tape for her and her mother, the tape that she said didn't exist. This woman is a wreck. I'm guessing the producers of Survivor really enjoyed her audition tape. All right, here's your trivia question for the day, especially for you football fans. To make all the footballs used in the National Football League for a full year, how many cows have to buy the farm? Answer, 600. Go win some money with that. Speaking of 600 cows, did I ever tell you about the women who used to wait outside the dome for Marshall Falk? Oh boy. I had two very nice weddings. The first marriage didn't work out, but we had a nice wedding at the Junior League. My second wedding was even nicer. That was at sunset on the beach in the Grill in Jamaica, man. Cool runnings. Well, now you can get married at McDonald's. Well, not everywhere. They're trying this out in Hong Kong. For $250, you can get a wedding cake made out of McDonald's hot apple pies. You get a wedding dress made out of McDonald's balloons. party favors, and of course catering by McDonald's. I guess those would be unhappy meals. Why does your dog destroy your furniture while you're gone? Well, it turns out, according to a new research study, because your dog is a pessimist. Your dog doesn't think you're coming back. If your dog doesn't destroy your furniture, the dog is an optimist and he expects you to come back. I try to help where I can. New Harris poll, St. Louis Rams are the 24th favorite NFL football team in America. They were actually number 30 the last 2 years, behind Detroit and Jacksonville. We're number 30. The highest, they've been number 5 back in 2002. Dallas Cowboys, number 1. Did I have to tell you that? A social media analytics company scanned 1.2 billion tweets during August and September. They found out that 71% of all tweets get completely ignored. I know the feeling. All right, Rick Springfield, 1980s heartthrob. I wish that I had Jesse's girl. Well, he's got a new book, autobiography, coming out, and it actually hit the bookshelves yesterday. And according to Rick Springfield, back in 1968, Rick Springfield went to Vietnam to entertain the troops, but the American forces that he was entertaining were attacked, so he actually had to help out. This is at the age of 17. He had to help out. What did he do? He said to put explosive rounds into mortar tubes, and they fired a couple of these, and he killed a Viet Cong soldier. So Rick Springfield killed a guy in Vietnam. He also says he tried to commit suicide by hanging himself from a shed, but the knot broke. He doesn't understand the success of Jesse's girl. For $20, you can get a poster featuring all of your Facebook friends. There's an artist, and he launched a website called printingfacebook.com. For $20, $6 shipping. Poster is 20 by 40 inches. It can accommodate as few as 200 friends or up to 2,200. Maybe I'll do that. I'll have all of our 2,000 friends made into a big poster. All right, Larry King tonight. Get out the protective headgear. Michael Moore and Christine, I'm not a witch, O'Donnell. Can't tell my McDonald's and my O'Donnells apart. All right, JC's Video Village for this week. Daryl Hammond of Saturday Night Live doing baseball play-by-play calls in our studio as famous celebrities. It's very cool. The Wayback Machine, Charles Jacob, Persian Gulf War, 1991. Great footage. Our old school photo is Tim Curry from the Rocky Horror Picture Show. All right, JC's Eye Candy, both cartoons that I told you about from that guy from the Belleville News-Democrat. You'll enjoy this stuff. Pure class. All right, tomorrow, the 4 things we do that make restaurants mad. We'll see you tomorrow here at jc'sdailydose.com. And again, we are on the air on the Big 550 KTRS starting a week from Monday, October 25th, from 10 in the morning until 1. That's it, the Daily Dose for Wednesday, October 13th, 2010, a cooperative venture with Mind Active in beautiful downtown Brentwood. In the meantime, we've beaten this one to death. Have a good one. See you later. Bye.